Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's YBP Gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA, and just heard some news that obviously it's not official, but Marca, a big outlet in Spain, it just got announced that ILIA Topuria and Max Holloway is being planned for UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. This came after news of Islam Makhachev having a hand injury that's potentially going to put him out into next year with the hand surgery and all that comes with that. So it looks like Arman Tsarukyan won't be having to do the PSA that he was supposed to do to have that fight happen. I think the initial plan was Islam Arman in October for that specific Abu Dhabi card, but now Abu Dhabi's not going to get that card, and they're moving towards having Max and ILIA Topuria at the UFC 308 card. I'm not sure what's going to headline UFC 307. Hopefully a pretty good fight, but it's really interesting how the UFC is moving. The moving parts is coming with this, and yeah, honestly, interesting fight. I do wish, just talking about the venue, just the optics of it, I do wish that this fight was like anywhere else but Abu Dhabi. It does feel kind of weird. I feel like with guys like Pereira and Ankalaev, Bilal and Shavkat, like those are perfect guys who are who have fans in that part of the world. It's just perfect for those guys to headline those events. Or even having it would be kind of hard because Hamzat's not really in title contention, but something like that, maybe do a non-pay-per-view or a non-title fight pay-per-view, something like that, having people who aren't from that part of the world headline. It's going to hit a little different, but at the end of the day, they are fight fans. It's a big fight, and, they're getting their money's worth, everyone who's going to be in attendance, so I do wish, though, it was in a more electrifying environment, especially in a place like Spain. Hopefully we get to see Topuria in Spain. But it should be electric, though. That's the best fight the UFC could probably put together. It's the best fight that maybe you could put together in all combat sports, It's probably the most anticipated fight, most 50-50 matchup. It's back and forth, but now that I'm really breaking it down, I feel pretty good about my prediction. And yeah, just getting into the matchup, you have Topuria, who's, all-around guy. He started off as a BJJ practitioner, I think, more of a ground guy, and then kind of formed his game to be a little more well-rounded. He's improved his boxing. He has great power, and, started off his UFC career with the Yusuf Zalal performance, went on to have great performances in the recent bouts. Josh Emmett, 5-round decision. I think, then he had the Bryce Mitchell fight. Or it might be flipped around in order. And then after that, he went up to fight Volkanovski and got that second-round knockout. In that fight, we noticed that, honestly, Volkanovski had some really good volume. And he had the volume. If you look at the significant strikes prior to the knockout, Volk was able to put a lot of shots on Topuria prior to the knockout. So the volume was there. Topuria gets hit for sure. And, Volk was able to take advantage of that. But the power, the pressure, and all that comes with that, Topuria was able to get the knockout in the second round. And he just, succumbed to, all the stuff surrounding Topuria. I think, he was a young, hungry lion, and he was able to go out there and do what he needed to do. I think a lot of people thought that Volkanovski was going to go out there and have a 5-round masterclass and show him who's boss. And honestly, I think Volk won that first round, I think, just with the volume and all that type of stuff, but ultimately, Topuria is the one who got the finish. It was very shocking at the time. You knew Volk had gotten knocked out prior, so it was always a possibility with the big power that he has. But I think the contrast with the Volk fight and this fight is Max, first of all, I think is a way better boxer than Volk, just pure boxing. I think Volk's a better striker. We saw in their matchups, but Holloway's a really good boxer. And that's Topuria's shining point in that fight. People said, Volk can leg kick Topuria and Volk can, mix up the strikes because Topuria leans so much on that just because he has a box-heavy stance. And I expect Topuria to, keep fighting the same way. He's essentially a wrestle boxer, if you want to say. He's not, much of a kicker like Volk, and that's Max's lane, really. I mean, he's really a boxer as well, and that's his best attribute. He's the best boxer in the UFC by far. I think he's really going to show it in this fight with Topuria. I see Topuria really struggling with the range. Topuria is probably going to be the way bigger guy in there. I think he has a longer reach. I'd have to confirm that. But that range, that pace that Holloway's going to put on him, the amount of shots that he's going to be eating, the jab, it's going to be a lot of stuff working in Topuria's favor. He's going to have to eat 3 to land 1. And that one shot that he lands, is he going to be able to hurt a guy like Max Holloway who's never been knocked out in his career? Never really even shown signs of, really getting rocked or getting close to being finished. This is one of the toughest guys, one of the best chins. He went up a weight class and dog walked one of the best strikers up there. So now we expect Topuria, who's, he's a good boxer, but not upper echelon. I don't think people hold him in that upper echelon of boxers in the UFC. So it's going to be really tough for him on the feet. And now we move to the grappling. That's where I think Topuria is going to have to thrive. He's going to have to out-grapple and really wrestle Max Holloway for 5 rounds if he wants the chance to win this fight. I don't know how successful he'll be because I haven't seen... Maybe I'll have to go back and maybe do some research. Maybe we'll do a re-breakdown if I watch them. But you look at the statistics and just from overall memory, I've never seen a guy hold down Max Holloway for 5 rounds and really dominate Max Holloway. And I think there's been better grapplers out there that have faced Holloway than Topuria, ? I don't know. I'd have to go back and resume, but I struggle to, the guy's an 85% takedown defense, and even if you do take him down, holding him down is a whole nother thing. I don't see Topuria in that upper echelon of grapplers or in that space of guys who could do that to Holloway, or honestly, who could do that to really, anybody. So it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for Topuria. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are just picking him solely for the fact that he's a more well-rounded guy. He has more paths to victory, but it's hard to see how he does it against Max. I don't think that grappling's strong. It's not bad. Holloway has some really good defensive grappling. He's never let anybody do that to him. Really, I don't even think Volk was able to hold him down for that long. I think he got him down a little bit, but he gets right back up. And a lot of times he's not even letting you take him down. So and a lot of times Topuria loves the striking. He loves to stand and strike with people, and he probably likes his chances to try to go out there and knock him out. So it's a really tough matchup for Topuria. I'd love to see how he figures out the puzzle, because I don't know if I was his coach, I would tell him to try to wrestle this guy, try to put him on his back foot maybe. I don't know. But that Holloway pace, the Holloway volume, even if, he fought, Allen pressured him, and he was able to, not to compare Allen and, Allen and Topuria. They're both, they're the same weight class. I don't know why I didn't think of Allen and Topuria being in the same weight class. I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah. Allen was able to push back Holloway, and he didn't have much success with that. He was basically jabbed. He had some success, but not too much, man. He was able to just get jabbed from a distance, and ultimately the volume, even when Holloway's on his back foot, the kicks. I think Max Holloway's body kicks are going to be an issue for Topuria. Just the overall variety of strikes that Holloway has. I think a lot of people view him as just a boxer, and I think Topuria, despite having such a wide range of ways to win, maybe with the grappling and the striking, I think you could even argue that maybe Topuria is a very good boxer in his own right, but Holloway has a wider range of strikes. I think he has better kicks. I think he's a better boxer. Maybe not having the power of Topuria, but he has crazy volume to counter that. He can fight on his back foot and he can fight on his front foot. So it's a tough fight for Topuria. He's not really seen as a 5-round guy either. He did go 5 rounds with Josh Emmett, but like I said, man, it's different when it's 5 rounds and you're in complete control, and some of those 5 rounds he's grappling a guy. How does it look 5 rounds is just straight striking, having to worry about getting hit, having the fight not be in your complete control. So from a lot of angles that you look at it, it's a tough fight for Topuria. For me, I got to go with Holloway by decision. Even though I find it hard for Topuria to finish Holloway, I also find it hard for Holloway to finish Topuria, but maybe he will, I don't know. You see these undefeated prospects, rounds 4 or 5, maybe Holloway puts that pace on him and knocks him out. I don't know. That's tough to see. I don't know if I could really see that in the cards, but he's going to beat him up bad. I could see like a Cater. It could turn into like a Cater-esque performance in them later rounds, just because of how lopsided it might look. just in that boxing. But Topuria's always live for a knockout, but I think it could really get ugly. I think it could be competitive for some rounds, maybe the early rounds, but Max started to set himself apart in those later rounds and show that he's the best featherweight on planet Earth. So give me Max Holloway by 5-round demolition job, domination. And that's all I got for y'all for the quick breakdown. Leave a like on the video, subscribe. Peace out, most guys. You know what it is.